What?
Feed me lipos. Hey.
Alright, let's meow this. This is a rap about Gilman and Gray, the two cool cats bringing Meowgo. Hey, what is Meowgo? I'll give you a lesson in juicy pussy tricks and whoops. Now here's my session. Started off one day with a dope man. His name was Dan. Had a plan. A man with a plan and a competition, but his spelling, it caused a petition. IGOW. What the hell is that? The W makes no sense. Are you a prat? The W is supposed to mean whoop. With these IGOW rule changes, it's gone to poop. IGOW. Now the cats are here, coming in clutch to remove fears about Dan's ABC. So let's get down to
Do you wanna do an orbit? Upside down around the ball. It can be anywhere, at any height we'll find one really tall. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish I could make you split. Does it have to be an orbit? Yes, it has to be an orbit. Okay, I'll try. Do you wanna do an orbit? Upside down around the peak. I think this trick is overdue. I started scrolling through the Reddit for the week. It gets a little lonely on these packs, just watching my whoopers down. I think I got an orbit. I think I got an orbit. Okay, let's fly. Okay, let's fly.
Meet the tunny hoop. The male hoop or raisin must perform a dance and press the female hoop. Called Skittles. Raisin practices his dance to be sure it is absolutely perfect. He builds a pouch to lure the female in. Once she's touched upon this apparatus, he is ready to start the show. The dance is so complex, the eye can hardly follow. Two of these, one of those. Before you know it, his dance is over. Skittles is aroused. Hubba hubba. Skittles is captivated by the mediocre performance. She exposes her buttery port for insertion. Raisin extends his BT to point connector. Hubba hubba hoochoo wee wagga. With his task completely, little Raisin Tunny Hoop flies away to prepare for next week's adventure.
Oh man, baby, that was good.
You can split my ass anytime.
You're the best.
Going out to fly my whoop, flying through a hula hoop, fly backwards for infinity loops, hop backwards for infinity loops. Going out to fly my loop. And I forgot my keys. Forgot my keys. Forgot my keys.
I'm going to late. That was
I'm gonna rip some packs around the house. I just need a mission for submission tricks that I can learn how and then train for a couple of days. Until I have all the clips that I need. IGOW is a whoopaholic's paintbrush. IGOW is a whoopaholic's toothbrush. I need to go acro now. I wanna be that quadcopter up in the sky now. And I'm gonna risk my whoop, 'cause I've got another whoop. And I can't possibly fly two whoops, at least simultaneously.
All right. What's up, everybody? Here we're gonna do the live draft for the IGOW5 Playoffs. If you missed yesterday's stream, we whittled down the final pilots to the top 32 that made the playoffs. You can see here, our pilots in purple are the top 8 pilots that made it. AJ was the only pilot with a clean slate, and then we had 7 other pilots with I, one letter, and then a handful with IG, and then all these pilots here with IGO made it, and 5 pilots got chopped in the final challenge. So if you want to check that out, you can watch the stream from yesterday, or also on Wednesday we'll have a top video review. I was going to try to review them now, but I didn't have time to like coordinate with Tyrant yet. So I was at a race last night, and we did a street league race here organized by ROG 1. And so it was a pretty good race, and I got second. So that's a pretty good result. Wild Type had to come from Arizona up here and beat everybody. So he's pretty fast. Tough to beat. But ROG did beat him in open class. But he got us in a street league. Anyway, when's Race Scout going to start? In October. Probably a little later in October, because what's it called? Watopia is a month later than it normally is. Watopia is going to be in February, like middle of February, and then so our Race Scout normally leads right up to Watopia. So it'll be like whatever 16 weeks, 8 challenges away from that is. I'll be flushing that out soon, now that once we get the playoffs going here. Anyway, so let's see, we've got top 32 pilots. We've got 8 pilots here. Those pilots are our drafters. If we look at the playoffs here, they are the captains of their team, but really your team is who you're competing against. So AJ is the first captain. He gets the first pick, and then we'll go down from there. Akira through Baz are the pilots that are available. We'll gray them out as we go along, and the pilots get picked. So again, it's snake format. So AJ gets the first pick, Multinator gets the 8th pick, but then it reverses for the second round. Multinator gets the first pick in that round, AJ gets the last, and then back to the normal one. So snakes up and down. Obviously giving AJ the advantage for picks because he was the highest scoring pilot during the regular season, or the best one. Anyway, yeah, so the idea is you want to choose the pilots that you think are not going to be able to complete a challenge that you could complete, that you're going to create. So you're going to get grouped into these little groups of 4, and then you all have to make your own little challenge up. I saw Lori asking in the Discord if you could just do one of the challenges that were during the regular season, and yes, you can make up any challenge you want. If you want to exactly replicate one from the regular season, you can do that, or you could also like modify it a little bit. I think Lori liked the cube one because not many people did that, and Lori was able to pull it off. So you could do that. You could add some extra things to it, or add some extra requirement, like you have to go back and forth, whatever. Yeah, you just have to make up a challenge. Some things you can't do, though. You can't require like a specific flight mode or flying style. Like in, I think IGOW2 and 3, like flying with one hand became a thing, and then a whole bunch of people did challenges flying with one hand. So nothing like that. I'm not allowing that anymore. Also, like in the selfies, you can't require any position, like a plank or a headstand, or even the OG Dr. Love. And I'm not even going to allow requiring a selfie technically, because I know some people just struggle to fly standing up. So, like, I wouldn't say that's like a skill that should be tested. I want it to be actually just piloting skills. So you could do a trick on yourself, but then you'd have to allow the other pilots to use an obstacle of similar size and height. You'd have to define an obstacle that you could use as yourself. Anyway, then also you just can't have like ridiculously long things like Daylight back in the day used to do challenges where he'd put a list of like 10, 12 tricks and then repeat. So there's like 20, 30 total tricks that you have to do in a row. Gonna cap it around 10 tricks, somewhere around there. So try to make your tricks like more dense and difficult and require them to like be one after another if you want your challenge to be hard, rather than just requiring a ton of tricks. You also can't require specific things, obviously, like something that's in your area or some type of specific object that's hard to find. No scavenger hunt type stuff. And you can't require any type of whoop or design a challenge that would give like, let's say you had like a gym you could fly at. You can't design a challenge that would like require you to have a gym or some type of super huge indoor space. And you also can't do a little racetrack. All right, that's most all of them. Basically, everyone makes up one of their challenges. By Thursday of this coming week at 5, you gotta give me a little video that I can share with everyone that we're gonna all watch on Thursday, so we can see each other's challenges. And then you have until the following Sunday, 9/21 at noon, to turn in. You have to complete your challenge and the other 3 challenges in your group, and then here's some scoring. But basically the idea is you want to complete as many challenges of the other pilots as possible, obviously, and you want to create your challenge such that you can complete it, but as many of your opponents fail as possible. So when you're picking your when you're picking your opponents here, you want to try to pick people that you think are going to fail whatever challenge you have in mind. Anyway, let's just get into it. I think it makes sense. Don't pick, it's not a team. You're not trying to build a team. So if you pick Akira first, then Akira is going to be someone that you have to compete against. Oh, and in each little group of 4, like this is the Pyro Drone group or the Newbie Drone group, Dog Kong group. Anyway, each little group of 4 is the top 2 pilots scoring advance and the bottom 2 get knocked out. So then we'll have 16 pilots left after this round. Alright, so let's just get into it. We'll try to have your picks ready, but obviously there's a little bit of lag, and you can think about it for a second. I'll gray the people out here. Here, let me make this a little bigger. Whoa. I'll gray the people out as they get drafted. So let me take that off. Okay. We'll just go. And yeah. All right, AJ. Could you have 2 or 3 different requirements in your challenge? As long as they're like, as long as they're not like different things. You you can always you want to run your idea by me beforehand, and I'll let you know if like you need to amend it or not. But I don't want to have like multiple, like where you have 2 like requirements that are like totally different type challenges. Like you already have to do basically 4 challenges in the time of the typical time period that you've been doing 1 challenge. So I'm not trying to make anything too crazily long or complicated. It's more about making something difficult. What's up, Skittle or what's up, Skittles? What's up, Goons? Okay. Uh, I haven't got those batteries yet, but they are in the mail on the way to me to try out. I wish they also worked with BT 2.0, but I don't see how that would be possible. But it's always nice to have more options. Okay, let's get into it. AJ, AJ was there, right? AJ, who do you want to draft first? You're the first pick. Put the pick here. Boom. So technically, this would be the order that if we picked right off the what do you want to call it? The standings based on the letters and then power ranking points. But as you can see, everyone's pretty close. So I would go with more with people that you have watched and seen that you think aren't going to be able to do like whatever challenge you did. Like if you're trying to do like a cube challenge or something, like I think Lori was thinking about, then you'd want to choose someone who probably failed the cube challenge, right? Okay. Anyway. All right, AJ. Whenever you're ready, just toss out your first pick. Where is it? There it is. Maybe I should put it in the chat. All right, AJ picks Baz. All right, that makes sense. The lowest continuing pilot there. All right, Baz, first pick. All right, next up is Retry. Who do you want, Retry? So on the list here, Lowndes would be the next up scoring wise, but obviously you can select anyone you want. There's no restriction. Well, you can't pick a captain, but you can pick any of the draft eligible pilots. What's up, Jeezel? Retry goes with Easy B. Ooh, interesting selection. Right in the middle. Okay. Callisto. Woo. You made the team, Easy B. Should be easy, says Dingles. Callisto takes Lowndes. All right. Next we got Dingles on Team Custom FPV. I should have been saying AJ's Team Pyro Drone. I'll make everyone orange. Retry and Easy B are on Navy Drone. Callisto and Lowndes, Dogcom, and now Dingles is up. For Custom FPV team, Dingles takes Blix. All right, going right down the list. Purple. Okay. Oops. Not that one. This Blix. All right, next up, Backwoods. Who do you want? You're next, Professor. Dodge the first Callisto bullet. Oh. Backwoods takes phalanx. Alrighty. And then that's Team Radio Master. Or Group Radio Master. Next up, we've got Cha Cha on Group West Coast Throwdown. Who do you want, Cha Cha? The green's kind of dark. How about this green? Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay. Ryfly. I don't know. Ryfly might be kind of a sleeper. Of all the lower pilots here. Mayuka, too. Alright. Ryfly selected. Oops. Next up is Jal on Team Orca. Jal. Okay, Jal. Still got 3 pilots on the bottom 8. Mayuka would be the lowest ranked. Or, of course, you can select anyone here. Let's see who Jal goes for. Now Professor Biohazard's just hoping to get picked before it comes back to Callisto. Paul Sex says someone save Professor from Callisto. I mean, if everyone just picked in order, he won't make it back. We shall see. Cybex. Ooh, okay. Alrighty. Next up, we've got Multinator on the Blasta group. It's that color. No, what color did I want? That one? Yeah. Okay. Pick number 8. Jal had to do that because I kept messing up his name in IGOW5 3. And then after that, now everyone can say Jal's name. All right, how you feeling, Multinator? Go with Mayuka or Multinator has like who? Jonas and Mayuka, right? So he probably doesn't want to pick either one of them. Yep, okay, 719. This blue. Okay. And then you get a pick back to back, Multinator, so oops, gotta gray out this one. You get 719 and whoever else. And Fire Blast. Fire Blast, okay. Val. Okay, Fire Blast, gray. Okay, next up. Oops, that's the wrong blue. We got Pick number 10 for Jowl. Jowl, Jowl, Jowl. Could go Val, Val, Val. Is that who you're picking, Jowl? Are you picking Val? Or are you just laughing at Val saying... Oh, he takes Biohazard. He shelters him from the Callisto group. Alright. Biohazard off the board. Everyone must be scared of Mayuka. Alright, next we've got back up to Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha took Ryfly in the first round. And now he goes Val in the second round. Okay. Now backwoods. He got Phalanx on the first pick, and the second pick is gonna be we're starting to get into some of the scary pilots here. Zip looking really good. Chatbot, Sweem, Rabbit, TC Moore, Lori. Yeah, everyone else is like pretty scary. Cha-Cha took Val. Okay, we're on backwoods. Who do you want to add to your backwoods? Is probably not going to pick any of his fellow teammates. I would guess he's not going to take Rabbit or Chatbot. He's going Zip. All right, Zip off the board. That brings us to Dingles. Took Blix in the first round. And he takes Mayuka. Mayuka lasted quite a while there. Alright, next up is Callisto. He got Lounge on the first one, and now he's got to tap into this top, what is it, 8, 11 here. Who from the top 11 would you like, Callisto? He takes Sweem. I mean, I don't know why I wrote Sweem Tube without all capitals. You gotta have all capitals for Sweem. Okay. Retry. Oh, got a gray amount down here. Who do you want from this list here? Got Easy B on the first one. Retry. Oh yeah, retry. I was like, wonky FPV. All right. I think that's our first non-IGO taken off the board. I believe Lori is the lowest scoring IG. Yes. So, all right. Wonky selected by retry. Oops. And back up to the top for 2 picks from AJ. Easy V, do not do that. Take your Canadian brother. Oh, TC Moore and Lori. All right. You trying to thin out the number of Canadians, AJ? Not that it matters. Do you want to pick a specific person first or second? Said TC Moore and Lori. No, you're just guaranteeing that at least one Canadian moves on. By stacking 3 Canadians in one group, you get at least 1 Canadian going forward. I'm going to put TC Moore first and then Lori, since that's the order they were and that's the order you said them. Nope. Okay. All right, so the Pyrodrone team is complete. AJ, Baz, TC Moore, and Lori. We're going to lose 2 of those pilots in that group. Next up, retry win. Kind of coming down to it here. You got Chatbot, Rabbit, Jonas, Junker, Flavu, Ballsack, Akira. None of them are very good selections. Easy B, just not Akira. You take Junker, okay. All right, Junker out. Boom. Okay, next up, back to Callisto. Lounge, Sweem, and who's going to round out the Dogcom group here for Callisto? Looks like Akira is going to be on the Multinator anti-team. Take Rabbit. Ooh, interesting selection. I thought Rabbit might have been one of the very last selections. Obviously, Callisto. I mean, Akira last, but Rabbit. All right, next up, Dingles. It's got Blix, Mayuka, and Jonas. Uh-oh, Mayuka and Jonas. In the same group. I guess that gives a better chance that one of your group moves on. Multinator says no. Okay. Next up, we've got Backwoods for his final pick. He's got Phalanx and Zip with him so far. Not a lot of options left. We got Chatbot, we got Flavu, we got Ballsack, and we got Akira. So Chatbot is officially the most feared IGO. Two winners in the Dogcom group, Callisto and Rabbit. Did they both win a challenge? Backwoods takes Flavu. Makes sense. He's not going to pick Chatbot. All right, Flavu. Did I spell that right? Something tells me that seems off. Flat. No, that's it. All right. Okay, last couple selections here. Cha-Cha. Who do you want of these three? Chatbot. Oh, there can only be one Cha. Well, you guys could both move on, I guess. Chatbot, Chatbot. Alright, Chatbot. Alright, Jal, who do you want? Akira or Balzac? Not surprising, those two probably the two most experienced IGOW pilots here on this draft list. Both have been in IGOW finals previously. Akira obviously been top 3, I think, for the last since IGOW 2 every year, second or third. So do you want to take? We gotta go with Balzac. All right, makes sense. Wait, why am I spelling it right? CCC. And of course that puts Akira, not surprisingly, as the default last pick on Multinator's team. Multinator's group. Oops, wrong blue. Okay. So there we go. We've got AJ, Baz, TC Moore, and Lori TZ on group Pyrodrone. In group Newbie Drone, we've got Retry Win, Easy B, Wonky, and Junker. And then on group Dogcom, we got Callisto, Lounds, Sweem, and Rabbit. In the custom FPV group, we've got Dingles, Blix, Mayuka, and Jonas. And then in the Radio Master group, we got Backwoods, Phalanx, Zip, Flavu. In the West Coast Throwdown group, we got Cha-Cha, Ryfly, Val, and Chatbot. And in the Orca group, Jal, Cybex, Professor Biohazard, and Balzac. And then rounding out the final group, the Blasta group, we got Multinator, 719, Fire Blast, and Akira. All right, so pilots, basically the idea is you're going to make up a challenge now, right? And you don't actually have to have completed your you don't actually have to have completed your challenge before you put out your video. Like, you could just do a video where you're like, okay, you gotta go, whatever, through this gate, through that gate, You can just do it like that. But I have to approve your challenge, and I'm not like you can't just make something that seems completely totally impossible. It has to be feasible for you to pull it off. If you want, you can provide an example clip, or you can provide like clips of you doing the different parts of it, especially if there's something like unique. A clip will help, but you don't have to have like a full completed challenge by Thursday. You just have to have an explanation of the challenge. Um, if you have example clips, that helps, but you don't have to have completed it completely yourself. So you don't have to stress about that. But you will have to complete it before the actual deadline. And also, you can't get it done ahead of time, so don't like go getting your challenge done and then think that you're good for the actual thing. You have to once you get your challenge approved, and then on Thursday I'm going to give out hand signals, which is just like whatever, like a thumbs up, but obviously it's not going to be that. But that's something you have to show to the camera either before or after you do your challenge. So I know that you didn't just get the clip ahead of time. You actually did it in the window period of the actual challenge. So yeah, if you want, you can email me your challenge idea. To get it approved. So you should just send me like your rough idea, unless you already kind of have everything all figured out. Like Cha sent me like his whole like challenge idea already. But if you just have like a rough idea, you're not sure what's going to be allowed, then um just send me your idea and I'll like be like, no, that's too many tricks, or you can't do something like that, or whatever. Or I'll say, yep, that's good. Just like, put all the requirements in there. And yeah, something like Velvix's challenges was too excessive, Paul Sack. I wouldn't allow something that year. But it was at 30 self-work. Last year I was just like, whatever. As long as it seems feasible, you can do it. But this year, like, it's about 10 tricks is where I want to keep the maximum. So you can have multiple obstacles or do whatever types of combos. You can put pretty much any like requirements that are reasonable on there. Someone asked if you could have multiple requirements. You can have multiple requirements in the sense that you can like have where I did like the points of focus thing, but you can't have like multiple different challenges. You can't do like, here's requirement number 1, that's a 10 trick combo, and then requirement number 2, that's a 10 trick combo on this thing, and then requirement number 3, that's another trick combo. Around 10 tricks retry. Can there be a time limit? I don't really want to allow too much timing things, like, because then it just becomes big, because you can't do a UTT. You could have like a small timing element as long as it's reasonable, but it's not like, but you can't do like a speed challenge. You can't say like, you have 10 seconds, you have to do as many power loops as possible, and then like you'd score like based on how many power loops you get. It has to be like a pass fail challenge, like all of the regular season ones, where like these are the tricks you have to do, and then you either did them or you didn't. You can't do like you can't do a UTT. Yeah, no UTTs. We got plenty of UTTs coming up in RaceGow. UTT, if you don't know, is a universal time trial. Pretty sure that's what it stands for. Anyway, it's just like a track that it's RaceGow. A little track everyone sets up. I can't say do this combo in less than 15 seconds. Yeah, you can do that as long as it's like I would prefer that instead of saying like you do this in 15 seconds, you like just require that the tricks are like back to back or whatever so that they're linked so that there wouldn't be really a way that you could. I'd have to look at what your idea is. I don't want to like force people to do tricks fast. Like I don't want like let's see what's one that we've had in the past that I don't really want. Like Akira has done like where you have to do 14 Rubik's cubes in 10 seconds or something like that. Where the most of the challenge is just being able to do them fast enough. You can indoor. Yeah, you can do indoor. But just 10-foot ceiling. Like Junker has that outdoor area with the 10-foot ceiling. Do this combo in less than 15 seconds. I feel like that might be okay. Because as long as it's more of like, I don't know. I'd have to look like what your challenge is and whether the 15-second time limit is really like what it's adding to the challenge. Can I say record DVR not from your goggles or only from your phone? Okay, that's what EasyB was saying. Okay. No, you can't do things like that. You can't have you can't be like orbit the statue at the the park here in Ukraine. You I think you can allow time limit as long as it's not like forcing rushing the tricks. As long as it's more just like so cuz like let's say you have the cube challenge, right? Um number 6 where we had to do like all the ejects and you could like take as much time as you wanted to set up for each trick. Like if your challenge is kind of like that and you say like whatever, you have to do the 6 ejects in 20 seconds or something like that, just so you don't take forever in between, I would say that's okay. But if you said you had to do the 6 ejects in like 10 seconds, then it would be more about like how fast can you do the ejects rather than just forcing someone to not, take excessive amount of time. So I would allow, you know, a time requirement as long as it's not like forcing you to do the trick super fast. That was just an example, Lori. Yeah. Well, that's the problem with the turnaround ones. Like if you ever have a trick, like it's real easy to say back to back for something like a split S into a power loop, right? Because one ends and then the other one starts, and it's obvious that you wouldn't be able to turn around. But like if you do a trick like a power loop, and then excuse me, then you have to turn around and come back at the thing. Then it's more subjective, right? Like how quickly you turn around, like so you can build your combos in a way. I'll be judging, but you have to provide the judging like requirements. Does he have all those videos block retry? That's sad. He only did like maybe 10 challenges, I think. I don't. Is there older? Let me see if I can find an older video playlist. He was what? IGOW5? Mm, I don't know. You could watch the live. You could watch the old live streams and try to find him. All right. Anyway, that was a random. Okay, where were we? Any other questions? Well, I'm gonna be pretty harsh. It's the playoffs now. Like you're gonna have to do the requirements that people put down. There's no Vigow, nothing like that. Um, okay, so yeah. Uh, should I make a form? I'll make a form for you guys to fill out, just like to submit your challenge videos, just so it has like the same format as everything else. Message me your combo idea or your trick ideas, and or you know what? We should also have like a playoff. We should have like a playoff group in Discord. Oh, we do. We have an IGOW finalist group. All right, I'm going to try to mark everyone as an IGOW finalist. Uh, Here, I'll just say. Okay, so there'll be a little finalist chat, and everyone that's here in the playoffs will get to be in there, so you guys can talk about ideas. You obviously don't have to give your challenge idea away if you don't want your other group members to know about it, but if I do come up with some specific, like, do I not? I gotta create a role. One sec. How do I create a role? There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there'll be a little chat. I'll mark everyone here in a little bit that's saying here. And if I come up with any specific rules or whatever rulings on something, or I figure out how we're going to implement the time thing, I'll share it with other people. So you're all kind of on the same page before. Any last questions before we end this? I think that's about all. We covered everything. We drafted the groups. You guys have until Thursday to make your challenge videos. And yeah, does anyone have any questions about the scoring or any of the other rules? That is here on the rules page of the playoffs. If you want to check that out. This first part is just like the overview of each part, and then there's more in depth about this round and then the next rounds. Hand signals will be given on Thursday. Yep. And you really only have to do, well, I guess if someone makes a challenge that's like the same as the previous challenge, I guess you might as well just do the hand sign for every challenge. But really it's for your own challenge. Is making the challenge video actually doing the challenge? No, you don't have to actually do the challenge yet, Dingles. You can if you think that'll help you explain it. But you're gonna have to complete it after it's presented to everyone. Because on Thursday you're gonna get the hand signal, so it's gonna be like, whatever, okay, and then so you have to, before you start or after you end, like we've done on a couple different ones, you have to give the okay to the drone and then do the challenge, just so we know that it's after the declaration deadline and you didn't just have a clip, you already did. Also, you didn't just like do some crazy, like just, do a bunch of random stuff and then call that your trick. And then, something you're not going to be able to recreate again. Yeah. If you need help, like forming, like, and if you send me your challenge and you're like, do a power loop and then a Matty flip, and it's like really unspecific on like what you have to do it on, or like if I can tell that it's going to be easy, like you don't have enough requirements in there or ideas, yeah, like a rodeo. If it doesn't have enough, well, the rodeo was very open, so that did have enough. Like, at least I flushed that one out. But if your trick doesn't have enough things, and I tell you that you should probably add some, like, requirements. And that was one other thing. In general, constant loop motion is just assumed. You don't have to say every single trick needs constant loop motion. If you don't want to require constant loop motion on a certain trick or for your whole challenge, then you could say constant loop motion is not required. But if it is, if you don't have to be like constant loop motion for every trick. I do that in the regular season just because I try to put everything in. But if you say do a power loop on a TGS, bottom, top, bottom, or whatever, then constant loop motion is assumed. It's the playoffs now. Like, if you want to take it further than constant loop motion, because constant loop motion is like pretty still like, somewhat lenient. If you want to say it has to be like perfect clean loop, you can do that too. But constant loop motion for any like looping type trick is this. You can't ever do like a really terrible Matty where you like flip over and then go the wrong way and then come back. You always got to have constant loop motion. You can take it off if you don't care. You could say like, you can't require not constant loop motion though. You could say that you don't have to do it, but you can't say you have to do a Matty flip that doesn't have constant. Well, I would have to see how you formulated that. But to Callisto's or to Akira was saying you basically just have to make a combo trick. That's kind of like the most basic idea of it, but you can still come up with a totally unique challenge. Like, I don't know if we could find it, but in IGOW5, Bance made his challenge too long, which is part of like the reason that I'm trying to not have as many, um, like not as allow as many requirements. Dang it, I don't know how to find it. But you can create like a totally unique challenge. Like Bance's challenge was one of my favorites because it was super creative. It was like you had to like roll a wheel and you had to like fly like through it doing tricks like after you rolled it and like before it came to a stop. Anyway, I know the people that actually had to do the challenge didn't like it because there was like 5 different parts of it. But if you just did like one part of it now, I think that would be a cool one. Or if you want like some like out of the box challenge ideas, like check out anything Shawnee D's created. I know Mo loved his challenges. Definitely didn't make him want to quit. Can you require trippy spin or 360-degree 90 45 plus as inverted yaw spin? Oh yeah. Yeah, you could say like you have to do a 360-degree inverted yaw spin and you only get plus or minus whatever degrees. All right. I think that pretty much covers it. If any more messages or things, you can message me in the Discord or email me. Counting trophies is so difficult. Oh, whoever's in Ball Sacks group, do something where you have to do like 3 and 3/4 trippies, or like exactly 7 trippies and then stop. Yeah, Akira, there's only 10 days for the 4 challenges. That's why I'm trying to make them shorter. Also, because so like there's not a ton of requirements and super in-depth challenges like before. It's more like, you know, ideally 4 things that take like kind of the idea is you don't want it to take more than 30 seconds. I'm thinking around 10 tricks, like 30 seconds. That's kind of the idea. And obviously you don't have to do the different challenges in the same clip. I don't think we talked about that, but each individual challenge can be its own clip. Who will announce our challenges after approving? We're going to watch them all on Thursday. They're due by Thursday at 5 p.m., I think. Oh. Let's grade this out now. This is where we did that. Now we're right here. Boom. So yeah, Thursday at 5 p.m. That's the deadline, and that's also when the stream will start, like at 6. So that's typically when I was releasing the challenges, and then you'll have to the following Sunday at noon. So a couple hours more than before, but yeah, to do your 4 challenges. We might have ties. there are I did set up tiebreakers, but last year I favored it so that the points came out different, and it was very unlikely that you tied. But then I had to choose, and I chose that making a challenge that nobody could do and that you failed was better than making a challenge that you completed and everybody else completed. Uh, just because I didn't want to have a whole bunch of people make easy challenges that everyone got done. So I tried to incentivize it less. This year, it's equal, where if you create a challenge and you pass your own challenge, you get 4 points for that. But then if everybody else also does your challenge, you lose 4 points, so that you end up with a net 0. But then if you create a challenge that, if you fail your own challenge, you lose 4 points. But then if everyone else also fails it, then you get your 4 points back, so that's also 0. But so the idea obviously is to create a challenge. If you create a challenge that you pass, you get 4 points, and then if everyone else also fails, you get another 4 points, so you get 8 total points, which is obviously more than just passing someone else's challenge, which is 5 points. So basically you're going to get, if you create a challenge that you pass, you get 4 points for it, and then at least one other person fails it, then there is a decent chance you could have ties. But there are tiebreakers that I think should make the ties come out even. You have a race on the 20th. Well, that'll just force you to get the tricks done sooner, Ballsack, instead of procrastinating until like the night before the challenge. Tiebreakers are decided by shortest time. No, tiebreakers are determined by who completed the more difficult challenges based on group performance, which would mean like if you guys are all tied and you both completed like 2 challenges, right? Whoever completed the challenges that had more people fail them would move on. That could very well be a tie, and if they all pass the same challenges, then it would be who got closest to completing any mutually failed challenges. So let's say there was one like 10 trick combo, and you got 7 of the tricks, and then the other person only got like 2. You'd advance there. If all that is equal, then it goes to time. Total time taken for challenges passed by all the pilots. So that'll probably come down to if like there's only one challenge passed, both pilots passed that one challenge, and then it would be who passed the challenge fastest. If somehow that was also a tie, or if you passed different challenges, but they were equal in difficulty, and when the ones you failed, you also failed equally, then it would go back to letter status to start the playoffs. And if that's also the same, then I guess rock, paper, scissors. I don't know how you would tie on time, though. That would be crazy. You'd have to tie like down to the frame. So, time tiebreak isn't till the 3rd tiebreak. First, it's who did the harder challenges. Then it's who got closer to completing failed challenges. Then it's time. And we'll get into the other rounds later. We don't have to go over all that right now, but those ones will be fun. Okay. I think I answered everything. More questions obviously can be asked in Discord or over direct messages to me or emails. So I'll try to respond quickly here in the next weeks here, so you don't have to wait for an answer. But obviously some people are in different part of the world, so if I'm asleep, I'll try to check my phone whenever I wake up. But yeah, so obviously the earlier you get your challenge idea in, the better. If everybody gets their challenges done early somehow, don't think it's possible, but if somehow all 32 of you were just like totally on top of it and everyone had their challenges done before the deadline, like let's say everyone has their challenges done tomorrow, then we'll just watch them. We'll do it earlier. We'll watch them before Thursday so that you have more time to complete them. But everybody would have to get their challenge in ahead of time. So if you all want to work together and be like, get it done faster, then you can try to do that. But it's not required. If one person wants to wait till the last deadline, then you all have to wait too. I wonder if I should do individual groups like that. No, that's really not really fair. It has to be all at once. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Finalists, I'm going to go through Discord right now and mark you all as finalists so you can go into that one chat. Study, if you haven't made up a challenge yet and you're trying to figure out, like, you don't really have any idea of what to do, then my suggestion would be, now that you know who's in your group, maybe go back and look, like, let's see. Let's say I'm Multinator. I'm like, oh crap, I got Akira and Fireblast and 719 in my group. Like, I would go back and look, like, which challenges did the other pilots fail, right? You can look in the standings and be like, or like, which ones did they not do as well? You could even go back and watch their videos, try to find, like, maybe some of their weaknesses. Be like, oh, this pilot isn't very good at half matties. Maybe I'll do like a half matty, whatever, something in my challenge. And then you can kind of build your challenge from there. Be like, okay, this pilot's bad at this one, this trick, this pilot's bad at this trick. I'll try to combine those two, and then I can maybe get those two pilots to fail. Something like that. That would be my strategy. But obviously also you want to make sure that it's something that you can do, because if you fail your own challenge, the best result is that you get 0 points from your own challenge. If you pass your own challenge, the worst result that you can get is 0 points. So yeah, good luck everybody. And on Wednesday there'll be a regular recap thing for the TPW, and because Tyron and I didn't have time to go over double check the scores, but we did double check the bottom scores, and everyone that's actually in the playoffs is correct. So me and Zaire definitely got chopped. All right, good luck guys. See you on Wednesday, and then Thursday also. Adios. Or maybe we should just do the stream on Wednesday. We'll figure it out.